Hey guys, welcome to the next installment of The Incredibles. But first, like I did promise everybody online, that I was going to do a review of the new film of Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you guys haven't already been and checking out that film and don't want any spoilers, let me know now guys, and I won't tell you too much. But obviously this review will have a few spoilers in there if you haven't watched the film. It's I'm going to get up the on my own screen here. I'm going to get up the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer, so I've got a little bit more refresh my mind, so I can tell you more about it in more detail and things. Because guys, that film yesterday was good. It was very child friendly, and as you probably knew if you're watching me on Instagram, that I took my son to see it yesterday. So and we watched the whole thing yesterday we watched the late showing. Sorry guys, I'm getting my thing up now. And if you guys did hang around for the very last end credit scene, stay at the end of the video guys, and I'll do a review on those as well. Okay, we'll start at the very beginning. At the very beginning, we find that out after the no, not Infinity War, I'm thinking of the wrong thing now. It's before the Infinity War, guys, and it's all based around just after the Ant-Man actually was in Civil War, where he helped out Captain America, as he calls in the film, Cap, to the Wasps. Finds it funny, and she makes a little joke. Cap, quite works. But yeah, it's set just literally, well, a couple months after that film of Civil War, and obviously Cap and all that kind of abandon Ant-Man, and he gets captured by the Popo and all the guys that from the Accords that they set up in the Civil War movement, and he's under house arrest. So we go into the first few scenes, and he's travelling around through what looks like to be a underground caves with his daughter. They're doing like a secret agent sort of travelling through the box world, which he's created for this one thing. As he's in house arrest, he's completely bored. He's been in house arrest for I think 6 months, maybe more, so far on the thing. So he's like, it's sort of tying up where he's been and what he's been doing, and how he hasn't been involved in all the other things that are going on in the thing, and why he wasn't part of the Infinity War, because he was technically not allowed to leave this house. Oh, we got our first comment. I haven't got enough round here to I'll just get my comment there. If you want to join in and you have seen the film, guys, like the first comments come in now, feel free to do so. Whoa. Just gotta sort out my bits and boobs. Give me a second, guys. But yeah, he makes himself a tunnel area for him and his daughter, and they're doing secret agents. It's amazing. I must say that everybody that was involved in that part, it was funny, because you really do think that oh my god, he's actually taking his daughter along for a secret agent mission, and then you find out that the thing they're going around in, it's brilliant, guys. I can't explain to you too much because I don't want to spoil for everybody that's going to be watching the film, so you definitely need to check that first scene out and see what I'm talking about there. But like I said, then we go into the next bit where he's doing all his secret agent things, and they're, oh yeah, this is cool. And then she's like talking to him, I want to be your sidekick. I want to be like you, Dad. And he's like, wow, you're a little bit small, but thank you very much, sort of thing. And they're doing a little bit. They carry on with their secret agent, making her way through, and alarm goes off. They get the secret agent piece and have to escape their prison little thing. It's all house based, guys. They go down the slip side, which he creates because he's got absolutely nothing else to do other than be a good dad, really. As you probably found out in the last film, he wasn't the best dad because he was a criminal, even though he was, you know, Robin Hood type criminal. But anyway, that's the last film, guys. In this film, he's being a better dad. He's being a better person. Quote marks. So they go down this slide, and first off, his bracelet goes off, and then there you find out who his handler is, and who throughout the film is sort of keeps tabs on him and making sure he's doing what he's doing, because he has like 3 days left till he can be stop being on house arrest and be allowed to go back on and do whatever he was doing beforehand. With Hank, not with Hank Pym, because Hank Pym and his daughter the Wasp in the film. We don't find out about the Wasp until a bit further on down in the film. I'll tell you again a little bit later when you find out about the Wasp and how everybody else finds out about the Wasp. Obviously the Wasp is Hank Pym's daughter, as you would have found out in the last film, the very last cutscene. And ooh, the Wasp suit. The Wasp suit is absolutely brilliant. But back on to what I was saying at the beginning there, that he sticks his foot through the bar, and then the security dude, his handler, comes out and is like, what have you up to? Where have you been? Who's here? And they search the house for anybody that could be possibly trying to break him out. But obviously he's not breaking out, he's just doing his thing, being the dad. So I'm just clicking on so I can see a little bit more for myself. And after those scenes, we then find out a little bit more where Hank Pym and the Wasp are actually doing. They're trying to build themselves a quantum reactor or quantum thing so they can go and save, or they're trying to still look for her mum, and his wife further on. And as they continue on, and then it cuts back to Ant-Man, and he's on his own. His daughter's gone home there, and the stepdad of the daughter and the mum's daughter are like really happy and like, oh, you're doing really well done for sticking on with what you've been told what to do. And that everybody's friends in this thing, apart from a little bit dismayed from Hank Pym and the Ant-Man, as he held on to the suit and misused the suit and got himself caught in Civil War. But then, as I said, we continue on to what Hank Pym and quote marks the Wasp was actually getting up to. They were trying to create a universal tunnel to go into the quantum zone and find out. Obviously, the Ant-Man in the last film went to the quantum zone, and he had a flash, a very brief but flash nonetheless, of what possibly could have happened to Hank Pym's wife. I can't think of her name at the right moment. If you do have seen that film, feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you have seen and what else you know, guys. Because it was yesterday I saw it, and it's still a little bit fresh, but not as fresh as it was yesterday. I didn't have time yesterday, guys, to sort that one out, but it will be as much as I can remember. As I said, I'm watching the trailer now just to give me a little bit twing back to the thing. But back to what the Wasp were doing. She and he needed technology that they couldn't build. They're not like Stark. They don't create their own. Well, they do create their own tech, but they kind of borrow from other people and use other pieces. And then you find out what they've been doing, and the shrinking building. What's all about the shrinking building you see in the trailer. In the trailer, you see the building go from building size, quite large building size, to a block of very small. And how they get around, guys. And how they get around is, well, Hot Wheels. If you're a fan of Hot Wheels and you do like, well, you have a carry case, well, a circular carry case, all these cars inside. The cars, they they're not Hot Wheels cars in that case. They are actual cars, like it did with the tank and keeping his pocket on the keychain. He sort of advanced onto that and got the idea of, oh, do you know what? Let's have a van, let's have a sports car, let's have a such and such, and loads of other vehicles that would be possibility that they're going to need in the future. And they keep it all in this Hot Wheel case, on the assumption that they're only toy cars. So they put them down and then they shrink them and make them larger again, and then you cut back again to Ant-Man, where he's taking himself a bath. He's strapping himself up because he's got an ankle bracelet, hence not being able to leave the house and being on house arrest. And he wraps himself up, gets himself in the bath, and he just relaxes, and then he flashes back to where the time when he went into the quantum zone. He gets another flash of, oh, you know what? He's starting to remember something. What is he remembering? What is he remembering? And all of a sudden he gets this like flash of Hank Pym's possibly wife. It could have been another. Possibly it was her. Possibly it wasn't. And he was like, ugh. And sort of a quantum. You guys watch the very old series now, the Quantum Leap. How you take yourself and you put yourself. You swap yourself with another person. So he goes back in time almost to sort of see his Hank Pym's daughter and her sort of playing hide and seek. He sort of, for a second or two, he doesn't realise that he's in control of her body. In the past, this is so. This might be a little bit of a hint to the Avengers 4, guys. If you've got an idea what's going on, there's a few ideas floating about, and this kind of takes you, it gives you a little bit more hints towards what's going to happen in Avengers 4. I've got a few theories. If you want to hear my theories, I'll make you another video, guys, but this is all about Ant-Man today. And like I said, he goes back in time and plays hide and seek, and then he sort of he looks himself in the mirror as he finds his daughter. I won't tell you too much, but he finds her daughter, Hank Pym's daughter, in the closet, and then looks at himself and realizes he's not himself. He's a woman, and he's Hank Pym's wife, and he's like, and then flashes back to where he is, and instantly gives Hank Pym, or finds the hidden phone that they're all the agents. I said at the beginning of the video, the agents were looking for bits and bobs that could have been linked to Hank Pym. And you find out that he's still got a contact phone. He gives them a bing, and they sort of pick him up in an unorthodox manner, and replace him with a huge ant, kind of similar to the ant from the first film. Right at the end of the first film, you see Anthony, I think they call him. No, sorry, Anthony's the flying one, isn't it? Anthony, unfortunately, as you saw in the last film, they kind of made it sad that Anthony lost his wings and fell to his doom. Well, in this one, he goes through quite a few Anthonys, and he names every single one. But yeah, more on that a bit later. And I guess where are we at now? I'm still watching the trailer. I'm actually got the wrong trailer up, so I'm getting confused. Yeah, they take him and replace him with a replacement, because he's obviously being tracked by these agents. Sorry guys, I'm burping here. He continues on. Give me a second, I'm going to burp before I burp. Yeah. So yeah, he's taken away and replaced with an ant that sort of carries on his routine as he's in house arrest. Hank Pym and his daughter have been sort of monitoring him, and also as well too, so he doesn't give them away. He doesn't know where they are, but they're obviously a possibility that he could know where they are. But they keep tabs on him, and they find out that because he's got this flash of like the quantum possibility of being able to transfer himself and find where she is. They then sort of take him away, sort of do a few tests on him. They try and take them almost the quantum memories out of him, But before they get a chance to do that, you get the main villain, guys, in the story. I wouldn't quite call her a main villain. I would call her an antagonist. That's the right word. She's more of keeping them busy while they're sort of going through the film. She obviously is the bad guy, and they call her Ghost. She's called Ghost because her ability gets given to her from the, again, you get cutscenes and things throughout the film to sort of give you ideas what happened to Ghost and how she is the Ghost and why she's called the Ghost. She's quantum tangled in to the point where her body is in complete flux, and as she, this is all quotes, she is ripped apart and put back together again constantly, all day, every day, throughout her life from a child. And again, you get a cutscene where she gets a power from the father, which was messing around with a quantum tunnel of his own many years ago. Sort of sound the same time as Ant-Man was, the original Ant-Man. Hank Pym was sort of creating his suit. There's my son in the background burping, that's nice of him. And then again you get a flashback, and you find out that her dad is Egghead from the comics, guys. If you want to know a bit more about that, check that one out. Egghead is one of the sort of villains from the comics, like one of the main villains, I think, from the comics. He's not a B-side, he's like a main villain to the original Ant-Man. And yeah, you find out where she gets her powers from. The experiment that he's working on. Again, spoilers here, guys, so if you don't want to hear this, pause the video and we'll fast forward about 10 minutes, and here's about to be a few spoilers. Find out that she gets exploded and her parents die. Egghead is dead now. I don't think he's ever going to be coming back unless he gets some sort of quantum ability to change himself and whatever, but I think just to show off that she had a father, and Egghead was her father, and that's how she got her abilities. Again, her ability is sort of, she can't solidify, she can't become a form of any kind of form of matter. She's complete in and out flux all times. She does have a sort of a place where she can sort of go back to, sort of next to another quantum tunnel, but the quantum tunnel's only literally to pull energy out so she can sort of recompensate herself and sort of stop losing so much of herself. So I'm just clicking on, guys, so I need another thing, another heads up here. And yeah, so she's an antagonist. You find further you find further on that her reason for doing it, again, she knows about Hank Pym's research, and she wants to sort of steal it. So again, you know, the building I said at the very beginning, the building shrinks. That's where their lab is. That's where they're working on everything, and that's why it shrinks. So it's never in one place at any given time. It sort of can move wherever they need it to be, and it moves around a lot, guys. They fight over this film. So they fight over the building a lot. So that's the main reason for the Ghost to be sort of bothering them. But you've also got the second antagonist of the film, which is all the agents. They're all trying to get Ant-Man because of the Accords. They have the Civil War Accords. What they called? I can't think of the code. The Accords that was created in Civil War. Why there was a Civil War, basically. And yep, so that continues on. Where are we going now? And obviously then you find Ant-Man and the Wasp then sort of do a deal with a dude who is a black market dealer. Again, Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of use other people's technology to create their own technology and incorporate things and borrow technologies and sometimes buy it off the black market, as you saw. And that's where you first see the Wasp. First see the Wasp suit, because she's told by the second antagonist, I can't think of his name, sorry guys, that sit down, have a seat, I've got something to tell you, got something to talk to you about. So my son's here, he's looking for something. Okay, and then I've lost where I was talking about. Oh yeah, the second antagonist of the film, and the sort of the more villain than the Ghost. She's the antagonist. She sort of works for herself, purely on trying to fix herself. She isn't working for any particular person in general. She is just, I want that technology to fix myself, so I'm going to steal it from the people that my father hated, because they had, Hank Pym and her father had a feud. They tried to work together and it didn't work together, so worked on their own. Blah. Flashbacks again, guys. Then we go to again where the Wasp. We're sitting in the office. Oh no, sorry, no, we're sitting in the dining room, I think. The main sort of villain, who's after the building, because they want the technology that Hank Pym has just sort of created, so they can have the quantum ability to use the quantum forces, because the quantum zone is capturable. It's you can use that ability to, which again you find out further on in the film, later on in the film, a bit more what the quantum zone is, how to use the quantum zone, how to escape the quantum zone, and what the quantum zone does to you itself. Not just turn you into a phased ghost, as you see in the film. More so that you can almost, a little bit, spoiler guys, a little bit of you know what the Infinity Gems are made out of, guys. You find out that that energy is quite strong. You don't find out much more. I think they're going to lead. There's sort of, it's just like a hook to lead you into the next film, obviously. And then you and the Wasp is sitting down with this guy, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, but I can't let you leave now with this technology, because I've heard that you're working on something bigger, and I want that technology, and I work for bad people. You don't want to mess with me, kind of sort of back and forth chat. And she's like, well, there ain't much you can do to stop me. I'm gonna have this technology. I bought this from you. I've given you the cash that you requested. You might be a black market dealer, doesn't mean anything to me. I'm taking this. See you later. She gets she's getting up, starts walking out. Again, Ghost isn't part of the person that she was just been told, you're not going to take this technology, I want your technology instead. Ghost is working on her own, but she appears just as she's walking away. Then shit goes down. Their stuff goes down. Oh my Christ, there's knives, there's salt shakers, there's this what you see in the trailers, guys. It's kind of they almost, again, spoiler guys, everything you see in the trailers is the film, basically, apart from the film is a lot longer and explains a lot more what's going on. And you find out what the trailers are all about, obviously, in the film, because it's the film. But a lot of the trailers gives you away the film. Big spoiler there. It's definitely worth watching, guys, because if you were having bad moments from Infinity War, like a lot of fans have, like, why did all those people and things that happened to those, if you haven't seen Infinity War, where the fuck have you been? Go and watch that now, because you need to. But you find out a little bit. You find out a little bit more. But again, there's a fight in the thing. Again, we find out what the Wasp's abilities are. She has stingers, as they call them, that little lightning bolt, not lightning bolts, lightning light. laser rays coming from her wrists, basically. If you ever seen the comic, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Exactly the same. They haven't changed it. They haven't. So she's got bullets now. She's got no bullets. It's all sort of energy blasts, stinger blasts as they call them, and she has wings, which. Again, Ant-Man in the film makes a comment, you gave her wings? Why couldn't I have wings? And he's like, well, your suit was really, really old. Her suit's really new. And he was like, okay, fair enough. And he's like, well, as she's getting attacked in there, he's like, oh, I need help. Have you got anything to help? And he's like, Hank Pym's going, I ain't got nothing for you, mate. What happened? You destroyed my old suit. It's like, well... Okay, and all of a sudden she's getting a bit too far attacked, and he's like, right, okay, I was lying. I have a suit for you. Here you go. Puts the suit on, gets involved in the fight in there. And at this moment, as they're fighting each other, Ghost gets attacked. They can just about defeat Ghost, but she's so untangible that she changes the sort of quantum. Whenever you try and hit her, you can't. You phase through her. She has complete control because she's wearing her suit. Again, guys, spoiler here, so pause for a second if you don't want to know this. This is going to basically be a spoiler video for the Ant-Man movie, guys. But like I said, carrying on, and she doesn't need the suit. She's completely quantum entangled throughout. Being a childhood, she uses the suit to sort of control her powers. She can phase in and out, being solid within reason, and they use that to their advantage, and that's the only reason they can take her down and be able to escape. They take her down, sort of, oh shit, where's she gone? Let's go and get her. Where's she gone? Sort of thing. They try and look for her, and they find that she's in the van. Spoilers, guys, with Hank Pym. After the building, obviously, and again, not working with the the villains in. Hi there in the chat. Welcome to the chat. This is a Ant-Man review, guys. So definitely, if you haven't watched the film, this is a spoiler video. But if you don't mind spoiler video, then keep on listening. We're in the van now, and she's got her fist kind of through Hank Pym's neck. Because she can obviously quantum entangle, and if she goes solid, that's the end of Hank Pym. She says, "Give me the building. I want the lab." So they obviously give her the lab and try and track it back. They all get sort of then attacked by the antagonist inside the building, and then they escape. And you learn that the van shrinks in the trailer. And they get away, obviously, and then you go further on to the story, and then you sort of go and find out a little bit more about the Ghost and what she's getting up to, and how she sort of heals herself during the day or the evening. The only time she can, when she goes to bed, her room is in a chamber where she gets quantum energy sort of forced into her, so she can sort of stop breaking apart and become herself for a small amount of time, and sort of stop feeling so much pain, because obviously the quantum entanglement is ripping her apart and putting her back together constantly throughout her life, so she's constantly in pain. So she looks absolutely wrecked in the film. She doesn't look like she gets any rest whatsoever. She looks very, very wrecked, and looks almost dead half the time. She's like, hence the name Ghost, I suppose. Where are we getting to now? I gotta think. And she's gonna do the escape, and then they go seeking help. Before they go seeking help, you find out a little bit more about. Again, we're going cutscenes again. We're going sort of back in the past as Hank Pym. Do you remember the scene of the rocket and how the original Ant-Man and Wasp had to take down the rocket? Well, he then explains a little bit more on what they did and what happened to the mum of the story, and then you get a little cutscene. Sorry, darling, I've got to leave, and she's talking to her daughter, which is obviously the Wasp in this film. They're telling her she's got to go, and then they both leave for the mission. Then you get cutscene again to the rocket where they need to take it down, They try to take it down, and obviously succeed, as you see in the first film. But in this one, you sort of you get a little bit more in depth on. She had to shrink herself down to the quantum level to be able to break through the iron or whatever it is, steel or whatever the thing's made of. Nothing adamantium, it's nothing. It's just heavy thing. They can't cut through it, obviously, as you've seen in the last film. And she goes through, and you get a little bit of a flash of what actually happened to her. Where did she go? And Ant-Man's got that sort of in his brain, and again they go back to the lab. No, they don't. Oh no, I think they get the lab back. I can't remember, guys. This was yesterday. I know they get the lab back throughout the film. They get it, they lose it, get it, they lose it, they get it, they lose it, throughout the film. And yeah, that's going on. And found out a little bit more about her, where you find out her backstory. This is Ghost story, a little bit backstory. And then you've got the original Wasp, Michelle Pfeiffer, I think her name is. Not in the film, but the actress. You find out a little bit more about her backstory, and sort of little twigs that you sort of they're talking about her further on in the film. They're talking about her and further on in the film, because she calls her Cherry Pie or something they say that, whatever like that, Sweet Pea or something like that, I think. This is the Wasp's daughter, now the Wasp. Again, there's that cutscene. I won't get to tell you too much because it's nothing really major. It's just sort of setting up who she is and who she actually is like, sort of thing. Taking a sip there, my mouth's gone dry. And then you continue on. Where are we getting to? Oh yeah, and then they find out that because of the ghost has quantum entanglement built into her, part of her, that she has the ability, or some more knowledge to give them how they can possibly get back his wife. So they use what the new Ant-Man is sort of talking about when he says he has these flashes. He has his, I know where she is. I got an idea where she is. She's controlling me. She gives me these sort of flashes. She's telling me stuff. So he's like, right, okay, we're gonna plug you into the machine, and we're gonna sort of use you as a pointer. We need you to sort of tell us a sort of direction. And as they're doing so, you find out again the quantum leap factor comes in handy. She isn't able to come out of the quantum zone because she hasn't. Obviously her suit is malfunctioning, as it does, as you know, in the film. And then that stops, and then you go flash over to, you remember the guys from in the van backing up, just backing up, just backing up. All these three guys are in it again. They're going on the straight and narrow. They've got their own security company. And you see the guys from what I was talking about in the restaurant, who were saying, no, you're not leaving with this new technology because we want your laboratory, give it to us now. They're on the hunt for it, so they obviously go and find Ant-Man's friends, which is the guys that go backing up, just backing up, those guys. And they start arguing about truth serum. It's not truth serum, it's truth serum, it's not truth serum. And then he goes on a huge tangent. You remember the guy, the Spaniard guy? Maybe Mexican, I don't want to be racist, I don't know between. And so yeah, he's going on a huge rant. He's like, yeah, this and this, and yo, man, this is what happened to me when I was in prison, yo, and it's like, hey, we're gonna best friends. And he's like this huge cutscene again of how the Ant-Man and the dude from the van meet in prison, and from prison, because he's had this quite marked truth serum, which they deny throughout the film as truth serum, and you inject it with him, and it's like telling the truth. It's truth serum. So yeah, you go further on. He's telling a whole yarn of he doesn't know where they all are. Still, in the meantime, that the agents from the very beginning of the film, where Ant-Man is being under house arrest, he's still quite marked under house arrest, and again, cuts back to the Ant doing what Ant-Man would have done if he wasn't still in house arrest. At this point, Ant-Man's got to go back to the house because they've got a sort of a tip that because they've gone and sought themselves a little bit of help, and from the guy called Goliath. If you're a fan of the comics, you'll know exactly what I mean. And if you've seen the Civil War and you've read the Civil War comic, you'll find out who Goliath is and why he has the ability to grow. Unfortunately, he doesn't grow in the film. I thought he may be sort of, I can do this. I'm gonna do a little bit of help, but he doesn't. He sort of tells them how to sort of use the quantum level, because you find out again that he's working with Ghost. Goliath actually works with Ghost, so you find out a little bit more then. I'll tell you a little bit more later about that, but as I was talking about the agents, they've got a tip that the new Ant-Man is, I'm going to call him Ant-Man from now because it's confusing, Hank Pym and Ant-Man. So Ant-Man is not meant to be out of his house for at least 3 more days, and they were like, if you leave your house and your alarm goes off and you're out of the house, even if you're stepped out your garden, we're going to give you 20 years in prison. So he was like, yeah, I'm still home, man. I'm still here. What are you talking about? He rushes back to his home. They then strip the house again, search for more bits. But he needs to go back to find his original Ant-Man suit, because it has a little bit more on how to survive the quantum realm. So they go looking for the suit and things, which he denies he has, and tells Hank Pym that he destroyed. And then Hank Pym's like, that was my life's work, why did you destroy it? Well, I had to destroy it, man, because I don't want you getting caught. I didn't want to get caught. So it goes on. You find out later that the suit isn't destroyed, and again kind of repeats what he said to Hank Pym. What Hank Pym said to him, this is my, it's life's work, I couldn't destroy it. He left it in a certain object, which I won't tell you what it is, guys, you go and check the film up for that. And they obviously get the suit, and the new suit, which he's wearing constantly, because he can't take the bloody thing off, because it doesn't work properly. As you see in the trailer, guys, this is a spoiler, so if you do not want to hear this, fast forward 10 minutes, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to pause there. The new suit doesn't work functionally properly, and as they need to go and get the suit, they need to go to the school, because it's in a specific place, in a specific item. Again, watch the film and you'll find out what that is. It's all to do with his daughter. I won't tell you too much, guys, because I like to do a spoiler, but not too spoilery, as you guys should really go and watch this. If you were bummed out from the Infinity War, this will perk you up and pick you up great deal. If you're having a bit of a moper, oh god, what have they done, Marvel, why have you done this to all my favourite heroes, or my new favourite heroes, you'll find this one is very much more light-hearted. It's on the cuff, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very, very child friendly. There are dark moments, but no more than any cartoon really. It's very child friendly. There's no blood, there's no knives, there's hardly any guns, to be honest with you. It's all hand-to-hand fighting. I say that's a lie. There is knives at the very beginning, and that's because as you see in the trailer, that's about the only time you see any kind of weaponry itself. There are a few guns, but they really don't get used. They they just sort of get knocked out of their hand, and oh shit, there's hand-to-hand fighting then. But like I was saying, the agents there, they go back to Ant-Man's house to see what he's up to, and then find that he's back in the house. La la la. Then the agents leave. You know, if you do, wagging their finger. If you do what you do, then you're 20 years in prison for you. I haven't caught you this time. And then they go off again. And they're doing that. So then where are we getting to? Then you cut to Goliath and Ghost sort of working together. They're not bad guys. They're just dude and dudette that want. Goliath knows a lot about the quantum realm or the quantum physics, and he can help. Hence, they can grow and small. It's what the PIM particle is quantum energy sort of thing, and Goliath and Ghost are sort of working on the machine. He's going, right, you've got X amount of time to sort yourself out, or you're going to completely fragment and become nothing. You'll just be quantum energy and return back to the cosmos sort of thing. So their clock is sort of ticking. They're going, well shit, we've got to get this sorted out. Hence why they're still battling and looking for the laboratory. Again, there's a load of battles, there's a load of things, and carries on. There's a lot of back and forth chatting, and they again find another place to hide out, which I think they go and find that another place. We're going back to Goliath and Ghost, and they have apprehended Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Hank Pym. Because they want the knowledge of what knowledge they have from Hank Pym's wife, the original Ant-Woman. I don't think she's Ant-Woman. The Ant-Woman in it? Okay, she might be the Wasp. No, I don't think she's the Wasp. No, she's Ant-Woman. Yeah, she's Ant-Woman, and then Wasp is a daughter. And so the original Ant-Woman sort of again can communicate sort of with Hank Pym, not Hank Pym, with the Ant-Man, and things like that happening, and the sort of back and forth. They obviously apprehended, and they were like, I've got to go, my daughter needs me, I've got to go, but I'm going to get 20 years in prison, let me go, I've got to do this, I can't be caught out, I've got to be good for my daughter, let me go, guys. And he's like, all I need from you is the knowledge inside your head. I want to go into the quantum zone, and I want to fix my friend, the Ghost. This is Goliath telling Ant-Man, and he's like, I don't know anything, you know. She just comes and goes. It's not something I know, and like anything in the top of my head, it's not anything I really know, sort of thing. Sort of back and forth. He's completely lying. He knows a lot more than he's giving on, and over time they managed to get themselves out of their cuffs and away from the antagonist, which is Ghost of the film. They steal the lab and disappear with the lab, and again they get their box car out and from the Hot Wheel box drive away. Agents are then caught up with them. They still don't know that Ant-Man's out of his house. They're chasing Hank Pym now and the Wasp, and then joined by the guys from the restaurant, and they're also joined by Ghost. They're all sort of chasing them at the same time that they get away, as the heroes do. Find themselves a little place in the woods, reset up the building, because it shrinks, guys. The building shrinks and grows to their command, same as the cars do. Sort of beat the button and it grows and shrinks again. So it's like, okay, let's continue on. Let's see if we can find my wife. This is Hank Pym saying, let's go and find my wife. And as they're trying to do this, they're sitting there tappity tip tap, trying different frequencies and sort of looking in directions, looking in particular where she could be. And then the quantum leap happens again, and she's inside. Instead of Ant-Man being inside her body, she's inside his, and guides them. I'm here, everybody, I'm here, find me. this is me. And she tip-taps on the computer using Ant-Man's body. Tipped up. Big spoilers, guys. And she sort of guides them where they need to go. Again, she's still not safe or free from the quantum zone. Things like that. And continues on. Yeah, so we continue on with that one. And just let me get up what I've got going on here. Just moving on my... I'm watching the trailer, guys, so it gives me more of a refreshed idea what I'm trying to say to you. So we're in the woods, and Ant-Man gets a call from his friend from the original film in the van, which are going straight. You know, these dudes are here. Oh, dudes were here. Sorry, man, I had truths through him and me. I've told them where you are because they were having conversations back and forth. Because he's the best friend of the dude. So then they have to quickly get shifting and move on again. That's before they find out where Hank Pym's wife is, where I pinpointed her in the quantum zone, which they start on quickly. They start on building a new sort of ship to quantum shrink down to the quantum zone, and there's further on, but again Ant-Man's got to get home and help his friends, as he does. He uses the first suit, he uses the second suit, which doesn't work at all. It shrinks and makes him into a child size, which is a very funny scene in the middle of the film, guys, where his suit doesn't work properly, and Ant-Man and Wasp are infiltrating the school where the old suit is, because they need it for the quantum notes. She tells them where it is, but they still sort of need that suit to do certain things with their technology. They kind of need to take that technology and put it into their new suits and things. The woods, and then we go on a huge car chase where they shrink the car and make the shark bigger, and then you get that scene where she throws out Pez dispenser. Death by Pez dispenser. And if you're a fan of bikes, guys, a lot of them get destroyed in this game. And there's all the cafe racers. My favourite bike gets destroyed in the film. And then you get the thing of Duty that was chasing them down. They eventually get the building back. This is not the agents, this is the guys from the restaurant again. They get the building back. He then disappears out of sight. Ant-Man catches back up with him, but with a twist. He finds him by making himself the Giant Man. Turns him into Giant Man. Ant-Man turns himself into Giant Man. Goes across the sea and sort of say, that's mine, give that back. Picks him up, that doesn't belong to you, thank you very much. Puts him back down again. And he then tries to return back to shore with the building in hand. Returns back to shore, but as he does, he sort of gets a bit wavy. He's like, whoa, it's feeling a bit lightheaded. I'm just gonna have a rest here, guys. And then you see that sort of elaborated on the trailer. And as all good films, a lot of the trailer has a lot of the film in it. To be honest. The trailer was a massive spoiler. They shouldn't have put half as much in there as they did. We're getting very close to the end of the film now, guys. They managed to get the lab back, but again, Ant-Man is like, I'm feeling a bit, and then as he's falling down into the water, because he's not able to shrink himself. He can make himself big or bigger or really like in between small and big. He's like child size. He can't go normal size a lot of the film because the new suit sort of malfunctions throughout the film. It's like the new suit's crap, to be honest with you guys. It's not an Ant-Man suit, it's more of a Giant Man suit. So then he's continuing on. I'm sorry, no, they're not continuing on. He's fallen into the water, and Wasp has to dive in after her. But they have got the building back. They've definitely got the building back, and this time they've got it back for good. They finalise their quantum tunnel, which Hank Pym then suits up in his own sort of space suit. I think it's like a really bad version of the Ant-Man suit, basically. Gets in his quantum driver, which is like a rocket ship kind of thing. Fires him into the quantum zone. He then goes through the quantum zone. Ant-Man's like, be careful when you get to the quantum zone because it messes around with your brain. You get like super messed up, man. It's like, whoa, you would be careful. And as you would imagine, he gets down, he goes further and further, smaller and smaller and smaller, hits that quantum zone, and then hits the quantum barrier, then bursts through to the quantum zone. And as she's saying, be careful, don't get stuck into time vortexes. Again, guys, a big twist onto the Avengers 4. One, I don't know whether they're going to go back in time on Avengers 4 because of this technology, because there's time warps in the quantum zone. My voice is going, guys. So they're continue on. So he's in there, and his brain's all getting all like messed up, getting all, what the hell's going on? I can't concentrate, and he gets flash. He sort of flashes back in his own sort of quantum time. He, instead of quantum leaping to somebody else's body, quantum leaps back to his own body, only for a brief moment or two. And he flicks back to the point where the very beginning of the film, where I find out about the Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man and the original Ant-Woman. They're having a chat and they're talking to their daughter. And he's sort of freaking out. He knows something's wrong. He knows that he's not meant to be here, but he sort of doesn't grasp that he shouldn't be there. His brain's getting massively scrambled because of the quantum zone. And guys, the quantum zone, it's strange, to say the less. It's, if you saw Doctor Strange, you'll sort of, the quantum zone's that kind of colourful, flashy, kind of like psychedelic area, which is directly pulled from the comics, guys, from the original Ant-Man comics, if you remember the psycho sort of thing. And he finally finds his wife. Yeah, she right at the bloody end of the film. Here they find her, because we're coming very close to the end of the film now, guys, so if you're still watching and you don't want to be spoiled, I wouldn't listen anymore, guys, because there's spoilers galore coming up. She has abilities. She focuses her hands on him, and her hands glow like E.T. kind of thing, and sort of brings him, focuses him back to who he is, and brings him back from his quantum leap to the present day. And they both then get into the quantum ship, blast their way back to the real world, well, our world, our dimension, basically, back to our dimension, portal back, and you find out that Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Ghost are fighting around the lab, because Ghost still wants the lab because she's got 2 or 3 days till she's dead, basically. And all she wants is to be healed by the energy that can be pulled from the quantum zone. But they wanted the lab for themselves to do what they have just done. She then comes out and sort of doesn't heal, but focuses her power on the Ghost and sort of heals her. At then this point you see the guys that were in, the guys in the first film, 3 guys backing up, just backing up. They've apprehended the guys from the restaurant, and injected them with truth serum, and then the agents turn up, apprehend the bad guys, and they tell them everything because of truth serum in them. Again, they deny it's truth serum, and then the guy that was giving the truth serum to the other dude to tell him where Hank Pym and all that was, he's like, huh, maybe it is truth serum, and sort of thing. So yeah, so everything's getting tied up now. Hank Pym's wife's back out. Hank Pym's back out. Ant-Man is back. Is sort of still thinking, shit, I should be back home. But the ant that is taking over his place is still doing its job, still sort of doing his routine, having a bath at a certain time, playing his drums at a certain time, and other things. Sort of then again, the Hank Pym's wife focuses her hands on the ghost and sort of heals her. She then like, oh, thank you very much, sort of thing. You finally give me solid world. You give me self. I can go solid again. You know, don't have to be tangly ripped apart and put back together upon. So thank you very much, sort of thing. She's very thankful, things like that. And then we continue on to a little bit more.
You're still early on the menu.
Yeah, I'm not going to be. This is still on the review, mate. I will be doing The Incredibles very, very shortly, guys. So keep tuned for that if you've tuned in for that. And yeah, so we get the credits, and then after the credit scenes, guys. So my goodness, no, they're my sweets. You had your sweets earlier on, mate. You can eat mine as well, dude. These are sweets from the cinema yesterday. He gorged on his, and he's now going to try and eat. Now he's going to try and eat mine. That don't my fault.
Puked yesterday.
No,
I'm empty.
But cutscene, guys. After credit cutscene. You find out a little bit, and the Snapocalypse from Thanos. They're taking a test, and they've made a quantum tunnel in the back of a van, so it's portable. You can take it wherever they like and grab some energy. Ant-Man jumps into the quantum zone, and then present day comes up. Present day. After cutscene, guys. Big spoiler. Do not listen if you do not want to hear this spoiler. Ant-Man is in, Mike, he's in the quantum zone. They're outside going, mic check. Can you hear me, Ant-Man? Can you hear me? Mic check. A couple seconds go by. Roger, Roger. Charlie. Roger. He's, yeah, I can hear you fine. And then you then cut to Ant-Man inside the quantum zone, collecting quantum energy because they're going to use it to heal the Ghost. And use it to heal other people, and they can sort of use that energy to create more things, which you'll find out later on in the Avengers 4 what they'll use that quantum energy for. And he's like, cool guys, I've got the energy we need, pull me out. You cut back then to Ant-Man. You cut back to Hank Pym, his wife, and the Wasp. Just to find them. Yeah, guys. Is Ant-Man trapped? Is Ant-Man trapped? Or can he come back whenever he likes? Unfortunately, they leave it there, guys, and we don't find out what happens next. So, they leave it right when the Snapocalypse happened. And if you're one of these people that watches all of the after cutscenes, guys, after credit scenes, I really tell you now, don't bother. Once you had that scene there, that's the first cutscene after the credit, or between the credits. You wait around, guys. I waited to the end of the credits because I knew there was something else. Absolutely pointless, guys. because it's already in the trailer. The scene is already in the trailer, guys. You can imagine which one, and if you guys want to know what that is, I'll tell you. Freaking Ant playing the drums, guys. It was in the film, it was in the trailer, you'd already seen it, and all he was doing was playing drums. There was no like playing drums and then gets up and it just and end the film. Everybody in the cinema was like, "What? What was that?" Because you don't get an after cut scene that you've already seen. That's the idea of the after cut scene. Anyway, guys, that's the whole film. That's my review of Ant-Man. I enjoyed it a great deal. My son enjoyed it as well. If you needed to pick up from the Infinity War and you're a bit bummed out from the film, definitely go and check this one out, guys. This one will definitely lift your spirits. This one will definitely get a feel-good film. There's not much bad happening in it. It's all to do with sort of tying up where Ant-Man and the Wasp left off in the last film and tying up to what he's been doing before Infinity War. And yeah, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this review. Hopefully I haven't spoiled it too much for you. If you do want another video and another review and a little bit more on what happened, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for those comments already. Thank you very much for listening to me, and stay tuned for The Incredibles episode 2. They're coming up very soon. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be coming very, very soon. 2 or 3, 10 minutes. I'll be back soon, guys, making myself a drink and getting ready for The Incredibles episode 2.